Hi. First of all, thank you for helping us reach 1,000 subscribers, even though we've not posted much. My name is Abbew. I'm well known as Eddie Abbew in the fitness industry. I was the British #1 bodybuilder for several years, British champion. I was British overall champion. I made my way to the Miss Olympia stage. That was my goal. After that, I trained bodybuilders and got them ready for competitions when I bought my own gym. I'm also a qualified nurse. There's a lot of bad information out there, and most of the information is being repeated so many times that people believe them. Today, we're going to talk about how you can build muscle and lose fat simultaneously. I know that for years, I was trained the same way, where I believed in 6 meals a day, and for every pound of muscle that you gain, a certain amount of fat has come along for the ride. But I'm telling you that that's not the case. There are lies or misinformation that we've been subjected to for years. Now I'm here with my channel trying to help you guys understand that. So if we look at the board, what this video is about is trying to make you realize that you can actually build muscle and lose fat simultaneously. You can see I've mentioned this so many times because I'm trying to get it ingrained into your heads that you can't do both. Now, to do that, we have to understand about the macronutrients. That's the fats, protein, and carbs. Now, the proteins help repair tissue or build tissue, okay? Now your body has 2 energy sources, fats and carbohydrates. Now in the bodybuilding industry, in the bodybuilding world at the moment, it's all about carbs all the time, which works perfectly. That's exactly how I built most of my muscle back in the day. But then we've completely ignored the importance of fats. And I'm trying to say that you can actually build muscle faster and more effectively using fats as your energy source predominantly. And then obviously the protein will build the tissue. And then when you want to look full, you put some carbohydrates back in, a little bit of carb loading, and you see yourself looking amazing. Now, if we bear in mind that a gram of fat contains 9 calories, a gram of carbohydrate contains 4 calories, and a gram of protein contains 4 calories. Now, we've been taught in this industry to only concentrate on the protein and carbs. We totally ignore the fats, even though fat is a lot healthier for us. You see, the problem is the bodybuilders who are using this method, they are also getting fat. They are eating a lot of carbohydrates, just constant carbohydrates all day long. And then how many times do you see bodybuilders, they look good, but they got a massive big bloat and distended bellies? That's because they are doing this wrong. And I'm here to show you how you can do it differently. Now, the other thing we also do with muscle building is that we got 6 meals. The only time as a bodybuilder you need a lot of insulin in your system is straight after training. Just to initiate the protein and the glycogen synthesis straight away. Whereas you're going to force as much of the amino acids and the glycogen into the muscle. That's the only time that your protein, your insulin level can be elevated. Other times, if you do that and you're eating those foods, especially carbohydrates, your body will store it as fat. That's why most of the guys, they call this bulking. I think that's the most stupid and irresponsible word that ever came into bodybuilding. I hate that word. That word makes people eat any old junk food. Now, what happens is when you bulk, most of what you bulk with is carbohydrate or cheap carbohydrate and cheap protein, because most people are afraid of fat, even though fat is your body's most efficient energy source. So I'm going to show you how you can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. If you're trying to lose body fat, like I've written over here, for fat loss, you need 2, maximum 3 meals a day. And for muscle building, 4 meals a day. It's enough to get all your carbohydrates, fats, and protein in, all your macronutrients and the micronutrients. Now, nobody also talks about the micronutrients. So it's important. With this method, you need to eat real food. When I say real food, I mean, I know that every food that we eat has to be processed to get to us, but it's the level of processing that we concern ourselves with. We only eat natural whole foods, like single ingredient foods, okay? So what we do with trying to build muscle is that we have 4 meals a day. Now those 4 meals, and I say 4 meals because we want to try and keep your insulin level down. Sometimes some of my clients would have 4 meals a day spread over 12 hours, and they do a 12-hour fast. Some of them we spread that over a 10-hour period and have a 14-hour fast. Now, why do you need the fast? That fast elevates your growth hormone levels, which is very important. It also elevates your natural boost, your natural testosterone levels. Guys, please don't underestimate that, because there's a lot of nonsense in the fitness industry. So this is what you do for muscle building. What you do is that you have 4 meals, and the 4 meals I usually suggest the first one being eggs. As an example, I'll give my diet when I was doing this an example. My first meal was 8 whole eggs, and then with that I'd have 1 whole avocado. And then sometimes I'll have about some cheese with that, because I like cheese, scramble my eggs with the cheese. And that's my first meal. My second meal was about 250 grams of cooked weight, either steak, chicken thighs with the skin on. Remember, we are not counting calories here. That's a lie. The calorie counting thing makes an assumption that you are digesting and using everything that you're eating. We're not counting calories. We are trying to prepare your body to build muscle. I know it doesn't make any sense to you because you've been counting calories most of your life, but I'm saying that this is how we build muscle more effectively and easily. So pay attention. I'm not asking you to believe what I'm saying. I'm asking you to try it. Now, your second meal, remember, you're spreading your meals over a period of 10 hours or 12 hours. The second meal, like I said, was about 250 grams of cooked weight, either chicken thighs, red meat, pork, salmon, always with the skin on. And then with that, I may have about between 28 and 30 olives. And also, on top of that, I'll have some nuts with it. Now, they were usually about 100 grams of either walnuts, pecans, or macadamia, or almonds. And then I'll have that. And then I'll have some green vegetables with that. Now, that's my second meal. My third and fourth meal will be very similar to either the first meal or the second meal. So I've got 4 meals eating this way. Now, when you do that, you will find that because you're keeping you do that for about 3 or 4 weeks, I say between 2 and 4 weeks, to make it to become fat adapted. And then when you're fat adapted, and then we will surround some carbohydrates, preferably sweet potato, rice, even potatoes, wild rice, they will all do. We surround a certain amount of carbohydrates around it before and after training. That's which will be outside of the 4 meals. Okay? Now when you do that, you find that you'll have a lot of energy, but then you need to make sure that your body is fat adapted first. You have to make sure that you're teaching your body how to use not just carbohydrates as your energy source, but fats also. You're teaching your body to have to effectively use both energy sources equally. Because right now, most of us are afraid of fat, we use carbohydrates. I know there's a completely different concept for what you're used to. But the thing about bodybuilding is that you don't know what's going to work for you. So have an open mind, okay? Now, that's for the bodybuilders. Now for fat loss, it's all about controlling insulin. Fat loss is about insulin control. The reason why you're storing fat usually is because there is too much insulin in your system. So those meals, every time you eat, when you're eating those 6 meals, every time you eat a meal, your body has to release insulin to deal with the meal, the glucose from the meal. What happens is your insulin level is up. If when you go to the doctor and they do, trying to see if you're type 2 diabetic or insulin resistant, they will test your blood sugar. Your blood glucose will always be good because your body will do everything it can to keep your blood sugar constant. That's how it survives. But then what they should really check is your blood insulin, because you may have a normal blood sugar but have high insulin, which is called hyperinsulinemia, which is something that a lot of people carrying body fat have. If you are carrying an extra excess body fat, you are insulin resistant. You're on the spectrum. Sometimes people can be on the spectrum for about 10 decades, all of a sudden, bang. Because the doctors don't check, blood tests don't check your blood insulin level. They check your blood glucose level. And then every time you eat, your insulin level is really high, and then eventually your cells cannot relate to your insulin anymore. The doctor says, oops, you're type 2 diabetic. You need to do something about it. Then they tell you to eat low-fat stuff. That's not what it is. If you want to lose body fat, control insulin. How do you control insulin? Reduce your meal frequency. That's one of them. And 2, eat only foods that are low glycemic. Now, I've got 2 ebooks. One of them is on muscle building, and one of them is on fat loss. I wrote these books because I'm a gym owner, and I'm constantly seeing young people coming in with problems as a result of the rubbish advice they're being given in the fitness industry, bodybuilding industry, and the junk food that they're eating. That's why I wrote the ebooks. Just because I'm getting inundated with people asking me for help. The ebook is supposed to help you realize that you can actually do these things effectively. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, again, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. That helps you grow. Thank you for watching.